Today, I want to talk about intrusive thoughts and why fighting them makes things worse. If you don't know what intrusive thought is, it's basically a thought that comes to mind that doesn't reflect who you are or what you believe in. For example, when I was going through my anxiety in the worst season of my life, I was having intrusive thoughts about being a homosexual. And it's a symptom of homosexual obsessive compulsive disorder. So I was having intrusive thoughts about my sexuality, questioning my sexuality, thinking that I might be gay. So that's an intrusive thought is I'm a straight male, but yet these thoughts of being a homosexual come into my mind. They're intrusive, they're unwanted, they're sudden, they're out of nowhere. That's what an intrusive thought is. So now we're going to talk about why fighting intrusive thoughts makes them worse. Basically, when you fight an intrusive thought, you're telling your nervous system or your subconscious that the thought is dangerous, that it can harm you in whatever way possible. So we must fight that thought. And you argue with it, you rationalize with it, and it brings you temporary relief. It does in the moment. You feel better. You're like, oof, okay, glad I got that taken care of. But your subconscious and your nervous system don't let it go. They believe it's worth fighting, and so it brings it back. I personally, me being spiritual, me believing in God and believing that we have guidance from a higher power, it was God or my higher self was giving me a sign that, hey, something needs to change. You are headed down the wrong path, and we are going to make you very, very uncomfortable so that you change. Because if you are not uncomfortable, you will not change. So, intrusive thoughts come about and they challenge the very foundation of everything you are. And it does that to get your attention, to kind of grab you and shake you and wake you up like, hey, buddy, you're on the wrong path. We need to address something that's happening deep within you. It's just expressing itself as an intrusive thoughts, as anxiety, as depression, or whatever it is. But there's something deep down inside of you that needs to be addressed, and we need to overcome this so that we can fulfill our purpose and be the person that God created us to be. Again, that's my personal belief, and having that belief and knowing that I was created by God in his image with the purpose is what drove me every single day to get better and overcome these intrusive thoughts. So you fight them, they only get stronger because your body takes it as a threat and it brings it back. The problem is that the more you fight it, the stronger the thought becomes and it keeps coming back. So the solution is terrifying. It's scary, but you must do it in order to heal. The solution is to let these thoughts live with uncertainty. Maybe the thoughts are true, maybe they're not. And at that moment, it's not up to you to decide if they're true or not. You truly have to let go. And trust me, I know letting go of that is terrifying. I did not want to let go. Like I said in my example, my intrusive thoughts had to do with being a homosexual. I didn't want to let go and believe that I could potentially be a homosexual. I had never had those thoughts before. It's not who I am. I'd only been attracted to women. I'd only had sex with women. There's no way I could be a homosexual. Why would I let myself live in that uncertainty? As terrifying as it was, I had to let go. I had to let the uncertainty breathe because I didn't have any other choice. It was that or kill myself. So I said, "Hey, let's see what happens. Let's live in uncertainty. Let's let it go. Let's not fight it. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. We'll see what happens. We'll take it one day at a time." And doing that, living in the uncertainty was a game changer. And I didn't simply just live in uncertainty and go on with my day to day life like nothing happened. No. Along with that, I added a practice of meditation. That was the key. That's what really helped me recover because in my meditation, I was practicing the uncertainty. I would sit still and just examine my thoughts as they came in. I started to observe my thoughts instead of identifying with them. I stopped identifying with, oh, I'm possibly a homosexual. no, I'm only straight. I only like women. I don't like men. I started to observe those thoughts and I wasn't identifying with them. I let them exist and then slowly they would fade away on their own. As crazy as that seems, they would slowly fade away on their own. I started creating distance between me and my thoughts. I stopped identifying with them. And that's what brought me relief. And I know what some of you may be thinking. It's scary. What if I let go and I let that uncertainty breathe and I do become a homosexual? Let me tell you this. If you were truly a homosexual, wouldn't the thought of being a homosexual bring you peace and relief rather than anxiety and worry? That's all you need to know. That's all I needed. I just needed to let the thoughts live because I knew who I was deep down inside. I was just going through something that I didn't know what it was. I had never had a panic attack before. I had never lived anxiety before. So I had to let it breathe. I had to let it go because I didn't have any other answer, any other solution. So I was trying something new. I was trying meditation, stillness, observing my thoughts, mindfulness, and it truly saved my life. I don't know what else to say besides if you're going through anxiety and having intrusive thoughts, unwanted thoughts that challenge your beliefs and your identity. Some people have intrusive thoughts about being a pedophile or molesting dogs and animals and stuff. Like, more than likely, that's not who you are, right? But they're intrusive thoughts, they're unwanted. But hey, trust me, you have to sit still in silence. Let the thoughts exist. Maybe they're true, maybe they're not. And your truth will ultimately come out. Just take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep God on your mind because you are a child of God. You were created in His image and you were born to live a life of prosperity, joy, and peace. Right now, you're just buried beneath a lot of fear, a lot of worry, depression, anxiety. You need to tap back into who you really are and get back into the essence of being God's child. So, final recap, if you're having intrusive thoughts, anxiety, worry, start a meditation practice, observe your thoughts, let the uncertainty breathe, and be gentle, be kind with yourself. It's a process, it's not going to be cured after one session. No, be kind with yourself 1 minute at a time, one day at a time, and your truth will reveal itself. Your loving, godly nature will reveal itself. So stay grateful, stay positive, keep pushing. You got this, baby. If you have any questions, drop your comments below. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody may have about intrusive thoughts and anxiety. I'll see you next time. Peace.